Okay, grapple gun time. Yeah, that works. Oh, okay, flight maybe needs some improvement. Hello guys, so with this great, amazing Cyberpunk mod, you can finally play as a Batgirl, and who hasn't wanted that? You can do things like look down at the ground from really high up. You can destroy your knees by pulling in practical superhero poses. You can strut down the street knowing no one will dare mug you. You can spy on enemies and then just run straight up to them and shoot them in the face. And best of all, there's even a grapple gun so you can grapple your way around the city. Oh yeah, and there's also the power of flight. Looks a bit rough though. So this Batgirl mod is actually a few mods that I've combined together. We've got the Batgirl mod, we've got the Grapple Gun mod, the third person mod, and a few more. If you want to try what you see here for yourself, you can get all the mods required from Nexus Mods. I'll put the full list of mods in the comments, complete with credit to the wonderful creators of all these mods. But all the instructions you need are on Nexus Mods. It's really straightforward and really simple. You just download the file, then you drag and drop it into your Cyberpunk folder. So for example, search for Batgirl, download that mod and drag and drop it into the right folder. Helpfully, the Batgirl mod author tells you everything you need to know, complete with a list of all the required mods you need to make the Batgirl mod work. So do make sure to grab them. Then after you've done that, then you can search for the third person mod and install that, and then search for the Grapple Gun mod and grab that too. It's really not a lot of work. It took me maybe like 20 minutes to get it all running, and then you're good to go. The Batgirl costume consists of 5 separate parts. These are the mask, the cape, the top, the trousers, the boots, and the gloves. To add the costume into your game, bring up the console, then copy and paste these item codes. You'll then find them in your inventory where you can just straight up equip them, and now you're Batgirl. And it gets even better because thanks to mods, you won't just look like Batgirl, but you'll actually have Batgirl skills too. The first Batgirl skill is Grapple Gunning. As you can see, you can grapple onto literally anything you see in the world, like a building, a lamppost, well, not a person, you can't grapple onto a person, but basically anything. Just look at it and you will instantly grapple towards it when you hold down W. It also works with controller, but I'm using keyboard, and on keyboard it is just W, but you can change the input commands. Now I will say that there's no animation for this grapple gunning. That's because the grapple gun was built to work in first person. So when you're using it in third person, you kind of just stand up and zoom towards your target like you're running in air. Also, you will notice there's no actual grapple line, there's no rope or anything like that, so you're just kind of gonna have to use your imagination for that one. But thankfully there is a grapple sound effect, so that helps build the illusion you're grapple gunning around the city as the actual Batgirl and not a cheap knockoff. Also, you can play in first person if you want, but I'm just showing you the third person to demonstrate the amazing Batgirl costume. The grapple gun definitely takes practice, like you'll be bouncing off buildings and falling to your death quite a lot, but when you do get the hang of it, it's surprisingly useful. For example, you can use it to climb straight up vertical buildings. Skyscrapers you ordinarily wouldn't see the top of can now be scaled. All you do is you just look up and you keep on grappling upwards. Most of the structures you see can be grappled, which is pretty impressive in itself because it means all of these buildings have collision detection. They're actually physical items in the world you can interact with, despite there being no way you would actually be able to get up to these buildings without modding. 1 or 2 buildings don't have collision, meaning there is a danger you can grapple straight through the wall and end up locked in some sort of interstellar trans-dimensional prison. So yeah, make sure you've saved your game. Sometimes the color drains from the screen while you're grappling, and this is Cyberpunk's default fall warning. So when this happens, it's because you're traveling too fast through the air and too high up, and the game just assumes you're probably going to die, but you're not going to die because you're Batgirl. Once you finally reach the top of a building, you can then pose like all good superheroes do. So a little thing, but I love how Batgirl's cape is actually physics enabled. It will actually flutter in the wind and it will bounce around as well when she runs. Really like that. And with the third person one, you can really see the costume in all its glory. So make sure you do get the third person mod. Plus the third person mod also lets you customize the camera. It's not always the same view. You can zoom all the way out and go for an extremely long angle, or you can go for an extreme close-up as well, or try the classic over-the-shoulder view. Or if you prefer traditional cyberpunk, you can always revert back to seeing the world through the eyes of your character. And the views from up here look amazing in first person. So that's how the grapple gun works, but there's one more skill Batgirl has, and that's the power of flight. Take off. Look at that. Zooming through the air like a supersonic bat. Okay, it's more Superman than Batgirl, but this is still fun as hell. And in Cyberpunk, now you really can fly at ridiculous speeds, just bouncing off buildings. Little bit of advice, I would definitely recommend installing Cyberpunk to your SSD drive if you have one, because flying is going to make the city have to load in really quickly, and when this was on my external drive, I did get a few crashes. So put it on your internal drive for faster loading, because who would want to miss out on this? This is not at all how Batgirl looks when she glides through Gotham in the comics, but you know what? It should be. Look at this speed, and if you want to get really creative, you can combine this flight mod with the Grapple Gun mod to really get mobile and navigate the city of Cyberpunk. Criminals do not stand a chance. So I'll leave you with some Cyberpunk Batgirl gameplay, but if you enjoyed the video, guys, then click that like button to show the creators of these wonderful mods some support. Again, I've got a full list of all the mods you see here in the comments, so check the comments if you want to download these mods. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this one, and I will see you in the next video.
Please step back.
Take it up! You fucker! And your butt! Let's kick it into high gear!
Get again.